Right. So, what do you mean by intra communication? So, the intra communication is nothing but what? Like, if one microservices want to communicate with what? Another microservice. That is either for fetch or maybe sending the data, whatever it is. Okay. So, either fetch or maybe sending the data by using what Eureka server, then it is called as what? Intra communication. Online, are you okay? My voice, are you still getting the problem? Okay. Still problem? Huh? Voice not, still not. Huh? Resound. How is it now? Increase your volume. Okay. How is it? Same? Not Sarusa. Hmm? Same issue. Oh my God. Sir, pero, problem. I hope it is solved. Clear? Okay. Uh, guys, whoever having the problem, please confirm. Is it audible properly? Is it audible properly? Please confirm. Not clear. Bhavani Kishore, okay. Yes, sir. Continue. Okay. Guys, whoever having the problem, can you reconnect or rejoin again? Yeah. Okay. Whoever having the problem here, please rejoin. Okay. Might be the problem will be solved out. So regular, yeah, nothing changed from my side. Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. Right, intra-communication like what? If one microservices want to communicate with what another microservices, okay, for what purpose? Either maybe fetching the data or maybe sending the data by using Eureka server. Then it is called as what? Intra-communication. Then it is called as what? Sounds like Mike is what? No, yeah. ఇంకా మౌత్ నోట్లో పెట్టుకోవాల్సింది ఓకే రైట్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ నియర్ టు మై మౌత్ ఓకే యా so the intra communication means what if one microservices want to communicate with the another microservice for what purpose maybe fetching the data or maybe sending the data by using what Eureka server then it is called as what intra communication yesterday we discussed about this here. Okay, at least one microservice is called is called as what? From front-end application via API gateway, then the current microservices need help of what other microservices, that is called as what? Intra communication. That is one more definition for that. So if we want to perform the intra communication, if we want to perform the intra communication, then you can use different clients like discovery client, load balancer client, fin client. So these three clients, it can be useful to communicate like intra communication, to perform what? Intra communication. Okay, application development. See, Eureka server we need to create. The next one, that is what is the dependency? Eureka server producer application is required. The dependencies are what? Eureka, Discovery Client, and Spring Web something, right? So yesterday I think I created, but again I removed. Okay, you want to create freshly here. Okay, are you clear? Okay. So if you want to perform the intra communication, let me add few notes for you for more understanding, or else you can understand up to this. Okay, let me copy. This is what the yesterday's discussion. I want to give, or I want to add few points here. Okay, this is what today's class. I want to add a few notes over here. Okay, so note one. I want to add a few notes here. If I am giving shortcut like microservice one, okay, try to understand. Okay, MS stands for what? Microservice. Okay, right, online. Okay, if microservice one communicate, wants to communicate with what? Microservice two. That is what, right? Intra-communication. So if microservice one wants to communicate with what? Microservice two. Okay, then microservice one needs microservice to URL. Try to understand the concept. Okay, if you want to communicate or if you want to perform the intra communication between one microservice to another microservice, then the microservice one needs microservice to URL. Microservice to URL. Online, are you okay? Are you okay? Online, could you please confirm here? Okay, right. I hope my voice also it is clear. Then okay, perfect. Thank you. So if you want to finally conclusion, if you want to perform the intra communication between, it is echoing, it is not like before. Guys, is it still echoing? Like what? అది bathroom లో రీసౌండ్ వచ్చినట్టు. Can you try joining again? Arul Raj, you asking me? Yes. Okay, let me try for your for okay. What? No problem. Is it clear? Okay. Any echoing? Is it clear my voice without any disturbance? Can you please confirm online? Only two people. Arul Rajan. Clear? Okay. It is same. We can hear you, but echoing. I don't have anything, any changes here. Okay. As regular only. I didn't change anything. Might be you can cross check your side. Huh? Imperant. Microphone settings. Oh yeah. Same Machiavelli. It's okay. Try today. I came very early today. That is what the problem. If I come late, everything is settled now. Hmm. I came around 9 o'clock. So, but it is not supporting for me today. Oh, right. Okay, you can try. You can try to understand here. There is nothing changed from my side. That's what. Is anyone else from in-person classroom joined? Might be that is one of the calls. Okay, let me check. All are muted. Pinna. Wow. Hmm? A voice. How is it now, guys? Is it clear? Huh? Me, okay. Online one, okay. Guys, is it clear? Huh? All are mute, sir. Yeah. Slogan. Guys, can you check now? How is it? Is it clear? Yes. Clear. అవునా ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి ఓకే అయితే దీన్ని చూడాలి అయితే మరి ఓకే థ్యాంక్ యూ గైస్ ఓకే ఓకే ఐ హోప్ ప్రాబ్లమ్ is సార్ట్ అవుట్ ఓకే హ్యాపీనా ఓకే రైట్ వెరీ గుడ్ థ్యాంక్ యూ ఓకే వేర్ యు ఆర్ దట్స్ ఓకే రైట్ సో if microservices one in microservice one wants to communicate with microservice two, then the microservice one needs microservice two URL. That is what the first note I want to share with you guys. Okay, this see the second one see, before developing this intra communication application, these details you should be keep in your mind. Okay, next, in url always path is fixed given at rest controller and rest controller and method level and method level and method level and method level example let me give for example http colon double slash 192.168 dot maybe just I'm giving the example here. Don't it is fixed. No, nothing. Just giving the example. Okay, 192.168.12
that is 12.10 slash, port number, no? 8080 port number slash some endpoint URL here, profile slash some data, right? This is what here, what is the fixed here? Here, slash profile slash data is what? Fixed. That is what I'm trying to convey. In URL, always the path is fixed, given at REST controller and what? Method level. Okay, right. Next, the third one. Now, microservice 1 wants to microservice to URI. Now, microservice 1 wants microservice to URI. Inside that URI, what? One is IP address, and what? Next one is what? Port number. Okay, number one, if you want to perform the intra communication, microservice 1 wants microservice to URL. That URL path is always what? Fixed. Okay, at what? At REST controller and a method level, like this one. So here, what is the fixed? Here, the profile slash data is what? That is endpoint URL is what? Fixed. Thus now, the second one is what? Microservice 1 wants microservice to URI. Uniform resource identification or identify something. So then, here it is what? IP and what? Port number. IP and what? Port number. The fourth one, the fourth node, that is microservice 1 can get this URI from service instance. From where? Service instance, which is exist in what? In Eureka server. Next one, finally, we have to use what? Discovery client. That is, go to the Eureka to fetch service instance. Okay, number one, if you want to perform intra communication means what? If you want to communicate one microservice to another microservice, then what? The microservice 1 needs microservice to URL. Okay, just I given that explanation in the second point, that URL, that is what? That path is fixed, that given at what? REST controller and its method. Okay, next one, URL and URI. URL, it is describing what? It's a host. That is what? It's IP, port number, that is okay, common thing. See, it's a endpoint URL, which is given at REST controller and at method level. Okay, the second one, it's URI, that is its port number and what? Sorry, that IP address along with what? That port number. Okay, number 2. Number 3, microservice 1 can get this URI from where? Service instance, which is exist in where? in the Eureka server. Okay, if we want to get that service instance, which one you have to use? Discovery client. Yesterday we discussed three clients, right? One is the discovery client and load balancer client. The third one is what? Fion client, right? So you have to use what? Discovery client in the from the beginning level. In the beginning level. Okay, the other clients also there. In the discovery client also we have some drawbacks. Okay, what are those we can discuss in the going forward. For now, if we want to perform intra-communication, three things are required. One is what? The microservice one, it needs what? Microservice to URL. And the second one, the microservice one is required microservice to URI. Getting my point? In the URL, endpoint URL, right? So in the URI, that IP and its port number. The third one is what? The service instance is required. Where it is available? In the Eureka server. How we are getting that service instance? With the help of what? Discovery client. I hope you got the clarity. Clear? Online. Are you okay? Are you okay, guys? Can you confirm? If you want to perform the intra-communication, between one microservice to another microservice, the service one, that is microservice one, required what? Microservice to URL. The second one, the microservice one required microservice to URI. In the URL, endpoint URL. In the URI, its IP address and its port number. The third one is what? It's required service instance. That service instance which is located in where? In the Eureka server. If we want to get that service instance, how you are able to get it? With the help of what? Discovery client. I hope you got the clarity. Clear? Okay. Online, I hope you got the clarity. So now I want to develop that application. Whatever you discussed so far, we are going to fulfill through our application. Okay, let me start. Let me develop the first of all Eureka server. See, the microservice is the theory. The coding is what? Spring Cloud. Okay, right. So how you are going to develop that Spring Boot application? It is similar. Okay. Now, how we are going to develop the application? First of all, you have to develop. Here I'm going to develop that application. Application development. Number one, I am going to develop Eureka server. In the Eureka server, what are the dependencies are? That dependencies are what? See, in the shortcut I given DEP. Okay, online and offline. Both are, please try to understand. The dependencies are what? Eureka server only. The Eureka server is enough to develop, to develop the Eureka server related application. Okay, go to our Spring tool shoot, file arrow, new arrow, Spring Starter project. Now I am going to develop what? Spring Cloud Eureka server. Okay, right. The remaining things all are same. Next, here what is the dependency here? Just Eureka server. See in the right side, whatever I selected, there is a Eureka server is there. Okay, the Spring Cloud Netflix Eureka server. So that is guide and some references also given. That is for what? Eureka server. Okay, now only one dependency, then click on next and finally finish. It is indexing. You can wait for a few seconds. The right side bottom, the corner, it is indexing. See, if you want to develop the Spring Boot or microservices based application, what you required? Internet is required. Right? Okay. Have you started to develop the Spring Boot applications? Started online? Have you started to develop the Spring Boot applications at least? Okay. Only one person out of 35. Oh, all are responded. Started. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, let it be complete. The Eureka server. Okay. In the Eureka server, see, this is what our Eureka server here. Okay, Eureka server application. So in the Eureka server application, in the main class, you have to enable Eureka server. You need to add one annotation. That annotation called what? Enable Eureka server. Eureka server. Enable Eureka server. Okay, that is number one change in the main class or starter class. That's enough. Now the main thing you have to write here, that is number one. I want to change here my application name. Keep it like Eureka server. Okay. And the producer and consumer, I'm going to change. For now, it's port number. What is the port number here? Server dot port number 88761. Reverse. Okay. Now, by default, that Eureka server, it won't be create that memory allocation. That's why it is keeping what false. What are those entries? Eureka dot client dot Eureka dot client dot register. What is that? Register with Eureka. Values what? False. Again, Eureka dot client dot fetch registry equal to what? False. That's enough. That's enough. Okay. These three entries, that is, one is the port number, Eureka registry, and fetch registry. These are fine. Okay. Right. Next, I want to develop the producer application. Where? Okay, I want to close this because I want to remove that confusion from your mind. Okay, file arrow, new arrow, Spring Starter project arrow. Here what? Spring Cloud, producer application. Okay, everything is same. Okay, next. Here, what are the dependencies? Okay, let me develop. The second one is what? Producer application. The producer application, what are the dependencies? The dependencies are what? Eureka discovery client, Eureka Discovery Client, and that is what Spring Web. That is fine. What is that? Eureka Discovery Client and Spring Web. Eureka Discovery Client and Spring Web. Okay, right. That is fine. Next and finish. The producer application. In the producer application. Okay. Go for the application dot property, something we need to change. That is what? That application name I'm changing like what? The profile service. Profile hyphen service. Okay. Next. Next, what is the required? Port number. Server dot what? Port number. This port number not related to Eureka server. Eureka server default is what? 8761. You are able to change. That is the default, right? So next one. Here I can give my own. Okay, you can also 9696. Okay, now this is what you call your comment hash. So this profile service is called as what? Service ID. Service ID. This is called as what? Port number. Next one. I want to give the some default Eureka URL. That is Eureka dot client dot service hyphen URL. Okay, dot what? Default. Come on. Okay, let me write default zone equal to what is that? HTTP colon localhost colon 8761. That is what the default port number, right? For the Eureka. That is what? Okay. Next one. Server port number I given, that is I configured the default Eureka server URL. Next one, those true entries are there, right? Eureka, what are those? Eureka dot client dot what is that? Service, sorry, not service. What is that? Registry. Register with Eureka. I am providing true. Again, Eureka dot client dot what? Fetch registry. Just I am providing what? True. Okay, that's enough here. That's enough. Okay. This is what application dot properties file. So I am going to create. See here also in the main, the starter class also you are going to enabling what? That Eureka enable Eureka Eureka client. I think discovery client here. It is outdated. I hope. Enable discovery client. Okay. Enable discovery client. Okay, I'm using enable discovery client. I want to create the one REST controller for this class. My URL that import package, REST. Here I am giving my REST controller name is what? Profile na, profile service na, profile REST controller, profile REST controller. Okay, right. So how you are going to do that here? You have to annotate it with what? At the rate REST controller. At the rate REST controller, control shift O. Again, if you want to provide the endpoint URL, what is that? Request mapping, right? So in the request mapping, you can provide what? Some profile endpoint URL. Okay. Control shift O. That's what we are getting error. Okay. Now I am going to write one method, that is public string show EMP profile. Some method here, whatever it is. Okay. Right. So here I am using show EMP profile means what? What method is suggestible? Get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, patch mapping, delete mapping, what? Okay. Meanwhile, let me write written statement. You can think here. From profile service. Can you tell me what is the required here? Getta, posta, putta, deleta, patcha, some what? Correct. Thank you. Online. What is that? Get mapping only. See here, show EMP profiles. You are going to connect somewhere. We are pulling the data. We are displaying the data. That is, you are showing the data. That means, what is the recommended? Get mapping. What is that? Get mapping. Control shift O. That is, here I'm using what? Data. So this is what my what is that? REST controller. See, this is what my producer application. Clear? Application.properties over, and I created one REST controller. See, if you want to communicate one microservice to another microservice, what I given in the doc in the points, where the REST controller, see, in URL always path is what? Fixed, given at what? And the REST controller and what? At method level. What is that path? Profile, then data. This is what the path is fixed. So here is what? Here profile slash data is what? Fixed. This is what the path is expecting. The next one is what? Second microservice URI, that is IP address and what? Port number. Yes or no? After that, you can use what? Discovery client. For what purpose? For what purpose? To fetch service instance. What is the service instance here? Service instance, where it is located? In the Eureka server. How you are getting that service instance? With the help of what? Discovery client. I already covered those points here. You have to use the discovery client, go to the Eureka to fetch service instance. Getting my point? Okay. Now, Eureka server I developed, and producer application also I developed. Okay. Next, what is the pending? The third one is consumer application. Consumer application. In the consumer application, what are the dependencies here? In the consumer application, dependencies are what? Same. Eureka Discovery Client and what is Spring Web. Okay, right. Going to let me close these files. Any doubt here so far? Are you clear? Okay, now online, are you clear? Can you confirm? Okay. Right. File arrow. I'm going to create what? Consumer application. File arrow, new arrow. Spring Starter project. What is this application? Can you confirm? Producer or consumer? Spring Cloud consumer application. The remaining things same and go to the dependencies what? Eureka Discovery Client, Spring Web as producer, arrow next, arrow finish. So indexing, it is still okay. Yeah, it is over. Where is Spring Cloud consumer application? Okay, here. First of all, let me open it the main class. Again, at the rate. What is that? Enable. Actually, it should be Eureka client, but it is outdated. Okay, that's what we are getting. What it is suggesting? What if we click on that error? Change it to enable discovery client. Yeah, enable discovery client. Both places in the what is that? Producer and consumer as well. Coming to the application dot properties. Yeah, in the application name, what is this here? This application name is called as what? Service ID, right? As we discussed in the producer, this is called as what? Service ID. Sorry, service ID. So by default, that service ID name, whatever the application we created, that application name will come. Okay, but I want to change manually. This is called as what? Employee. Coding related here. Okay, you can keep it the same name, no problem. Okay, right. So this is what? Employee service. Okay, that is what? The service ID. The second one is what? What do you require? The second one is the port number. Server dot port number. What is this port number? You can give anything. Okay. I want to give 8668. No problem. Again, other entries also you have to write, right? That is Eureka location, first of all. Eureka location. Let me give. Might be you are thinking, sir, why you given this statement? What is the purpose of this statement? So let me give the clarity on that. This is for what? Eureka location. Hash symbol in the properties file, that is comment. Okay. How you are going to do that? Eureka location. Eureka dot client dot service hyphen client dot what is that? Eureka dot client dot next what? Service URL here. Service hyphen URL. Yeah. So URL. What you are going to write? Default zone. Default zone. That is HTTP colon localhost colon what is that port number? 87 61 slash Eureka. That is what Eureka location. The remaining entries is required, right? That is Eureka dot the client dot register with Eureka equal to true, and Eureka dot client dot fetch registry equal to true. For now, I'm keeping what? Hash. For now, I'm keeping what? Hash. Okay. So that consumer related, I keep it in the comment. Okay. The main class is also done. Okay. Then what? See, in the consumer application, I'm going to create one consumer application. Where it is? Okay. File arrow, new arrow, class arrow. Here I am going to write what? Profile REST consumer. Here I am giving some consumer package. Okay. Then REST consumer. Okay. Here I want to write some logic. Here it is very, very important. Okay. So this consumer, I want to create the object. Then if you want to create the object, what is the annotation is required? At the rate component to creating what? Object. The next one. Here I want to perform some dependency injection. Private discovery client. Okay, there is a 3 clients are there. Discovery client, load balancer client, Fusion client. Okay, so there is a problem that discovery client we will discuss later. For now, I'm using discovery client. Just I'm giving what? One reference. Discovery client. Spring dot what? Which one you can take? Let me take the Spring related. Okay. Then this one I am performing auto wide. Control Shift O, auto wide. Now I am going to write some method, one method. One method that is public string get profile data. I'm trying to get what? The profile data. So here I'm using list. That is a list service instance. Okay. I'm giving right list equal to Control Shift O. Client dot get instant get services, get instances. That is what we are trying to get, right? Instances. Okay. Get instances. Okay. In that instances, you are providing the some name. What is that name? Profile service. From the profile service. That is from the producer, right? Okay. Why you are getting? Okay, might be written statement. Later we'll see. No problem. Okay, I'm trying to get that instance into my application. Later on, I want to get the service instance. This is what? Let me write some comment. What is the purpose of this? Get list of service instances. Shortcut I'm writing. Okay. For your understanding point of view, I'm writing the comment here. Get a list of what? Service instances by using profile service ID. Survey, yes or no? This profile, what you are calling service ID, no? Here, what is this service ID, right? Employee service only, that's okay. But what you are going to call that one? That is called as what? Service ID. That's what. Okay, next one. Here I am writing what? Service instance SI equal to list dot get off that zero index. I am trying to get it. Zero index. That is the problem here while using the discovery client. Okay, what is this purpose here? Read single instance. Read single instance from what? Index of what? 0. Okay. Index of what? 0. Next one. That is you are getting the instance and that service instance, the two which is available in where? In the 0 index we are trying to getting. And we have to use what? Read the URI and path here. Read URI and path. How we are going to read? String some URL. URL is required or not? As we discuss. Okay, the microservice 1 want to communicate with the microservices 2. The URL is required. That is the fixed. I think profile slash data given, right? That is what fixed. String URL is equal to what? String URL. Service instance dot get URI. Get URI. URI means what here? Can you confirm online? Can you tell me what is meant by URI? URI means, don't say abbreviation here. URI means what? Host, that is IP address, along with what? Port number. That is called what? URI. Already covered in that point. The fourth microservice 1 can get this URI from the service instance. Where you are getting from the service instance now? Okay, instance which is existing where? In the Eureka server. Okay, right. You get URI. After that, along with what? Your path. That is, what is that path you given? Profile slash data, na? Correct? Profile slash data, I think so. In the producer application, go for that rest control, that is profile controller, profile slash data. Okay, we required. Okay, let it keep it, no problem. Okay, profile slash data. All are lowercase? Yes. Profile slash data. Okay, then that is what. Next, what you are going to do? First one, you are getting what? List of that service instances by using what? That profile service ID. After that, you are reading what? Single instance, that to index base. Next, read the URI and path. This is what URI you are getting. That is some IP address along with some port number. After that, what? Some path. Next one what? You have to use the REST template object. REST template object. See, the REST template object purpose is what? This object is going to communicate, that is one service to another service while performing the communication. The REST template object is required. This is key role. Okay, right. So we already discussed in the earlier, what do you mean by REST template? Not now. Okay, REST template RT dot. You have to create the REST template here. REST template object. There is no option. You have to create like this. We have to create the REST template object like this. Okay. REST template object we created. Finally, what you are going to do? You have to make a call. Make a call and what? Get response. How you are going to make a call? How you are going to make a call? Response entity. Response entity. That response entity you are passing type what? String type. And I am writing what? Response equal to what? RT dot get for entity, right? Get for you already used earlier. Okay, get for entity. Here is it is required what? URL. After that, no, string class file. Okay, Control Shift O. Clear that URL. Earlier you developed here. Okay, I am going to returning what? Return back to employee REST controller. It is going to return back what? Employee REST controller. How we are going to return back? Return what? Response dot get body. Clear? This is what the profile REST controller. Okay, I am going to write what? One employee REST controller. See, employee REST controller is required. Okay, let me write the REST controller. This is what producer application. Any doubt here in the producer application? Sorry, and producer application. We are in the consumer application development, right? Let me finish first of all. Later on, I can discuss one more time. What is this called? Employee REST controller. Employee REST controller. In my package also, I'm going to change what? REST. Okay. So in my REST controller, first what? At the rate to make REST controller now. REST controller. At the rate REST controller is required. Again, what is required? At the rate request mapping. Here you can pass what? I am passing some employee. Control Shift O. Control Shift O. In the in the employee controller also, I'm using that profile. There is a profile REST consumer. I am going to use this one. Profile REST consumer to performing the dependency injection. Private profile REST consumer, some consumer. Control Shift O. Okay, you have to use what? At the rate auto void to perform what? Dependency injection. Right. So here I am writing some method like what? Public string, some show EMP data. What is the method suggestible? Can you tell me? HTTP. get mapping. Here I'm using what? Slash some name like model. Control Shift O. Why you are getting the error? The return statement is required from EMP. From EMP. Let me write the complete employee. From employee plus consumer dot. I'm getting that profile. Consumer dot get profile data. I'm calling. Okay, that's all about it here. So there is no error as of now. First of all, what is the order of the development? First, Eureka server default microphone. Okay. Okay. So the application development, number one, Eureka server developed. The dependency is what Eureka server. The second one is what producer application developed. The dependencies are what? Eureka server. Yes, sorry. Eureka discovery client and what? Spring Web. The third one, consumer application I developed. Okay, that dependencies are what? Same as producer application. Clear? Okay, now, right. So, in the Eureka,
nothing is there, just adding what? At the rate, Eureka discovery client in the main class, that is the starter level, and in the profile, in the application or properties file, that port number, its registries and all we are going to configure. That's it. Okay. And after that, you are going to develop what? The producer application. And let me close all. See, in the producer application, here also in the starter class, I'm using what? Enable discovery client annotation. Apart from that, I didn't written anything here. So then profile REST controller. See, the REST controller profile and the data just it is showing what? Profile service. And here we are using same, like this is the service ID, port number, Eureka default, that's that URL I providing this Eureka registry something. So here one controller. Additionally, compared to Eureka server, along these configurations and one REST controller I created. Okay, because while communicating microservices 1 to microservice 2, that URL is required. Yes or no? That URI is required. The discovery client, that is the service ID also required. That also the service instance is required. That is also we are collecting from where? From the Eureka server. Clear, guys? This is what the producer application. The producer application I didn't develop much as a regular configuration. After that, one REST controller, that too with the endpoint URLs. Okay, that too some get mapping something. This is what the producer application. Guys, any doubt about the producer and consumer application? Sorry, Eureka server and producer online. Are you clear? Compared to Eureka server, you created what? You created what? REST controller extra. Right. So that is for the producer application. Let me close all. And going for the consumer application.
in the consumer application, along with the controller, one more file I created extra for what? Consuming those services like what? See, in the main class, same as a producer, one annotation added. And coming to the consumer application, in the consumer application, entire stuff here only. Getting my point? Here only. First of all, you are getting what? The service ID. right? The second one, we are getting what that service instance based on that index, and we are reading what that URI and path. Next one is what we created the REST template object with the help of that REST template object. See,
communicating with what URL. Okay.
okay. Online, are you clear? Are you able to hear properly? Right. Thank you. So after that, we are returning that employee that is back to employee REST controller. Can you go for the employee REST controller? What you written here? Simple endpoint URLs. Just I am showing from employees something. Just we are getting what profile data. I am calling here. Then it is coming here, getting all the details. Okay, in the beginning might be little complicated for you guys. Okay, but you can try to understand. Okay, then sir, development is okay. Which one you can start first, which one you can start later? What is the order? Okay, execution order. Execution order number one, you should follow like this only. Tala toka undari. తలా తోక లేకుండా ఎలా పడి తల స్టార్ట్ చేస్తే కొద్దిగా కష్టం అవుతుంది. ఓకే, రైట్. యూ షుడ్ ఫాలో సమ్ ఆర్డర్. ఓకే, యూరేక్ ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ వాట్ సర్వర్ ఇన్ జనరల్ యార్ ఇన్ జనరల్ seen the servlet or JSP based application. If you want to get the output, first of all server start cheyali kada. So you should start what? Server. Eureka server first. Okay, next what? Producer or consumer? Think a bit logical. Your understanding point of view. Online. Let me check. Online. Just think a bit logical here. Here nothing complicated. The second one, which one you are going to start? Producer or consumer? Yes. Producer application. Right. Next. The third one is what? Only one. That is what? Consumer application. Okay. Right. Now, once you are starting that application, can you start first one? Eureka. Let me close all here. Close all. Anyway, application development is over. Where is the Eureka server? Okay, here. You can go for the main class. You can start this server. Okay, right. Right click on it. Run as Spring Boot application. Right? Done. Go to the browser. Control tab. What is that URL? http:/localhost: what? 8761, right? This is what Eureka server. Any instances are there currently registered with that? No instances are available. Right? No instances are available. Right. This is what IP address for to run client and producer and consumer application. This IP address. Okay. Then there is no instances. Then which one you are going to start now? producer application, where it is this one. I am going to execute, run as Spring Boot application. What is that registered instance? What is that profile service? It means one instance is available. See, no instance is available. See, what area? Instances currently registered with Eureka. If you refresh, then which one getting? Profile service. Okay, right. Let me refresh now. For now, there is no instance available. Okay, then refresh. Getting profile service. Right? Clear, guys? Okay. Next one. What is the port number here? 9696 now. Can you go for in the what is that? Producer. What is that port number? What is the service ID? Getting or not? Profile service port number. Clear? Okay. Next one. Next one. Next one. So far, producer we started. It is available that service side in the Eureka server. Clear? Now. Then let me close this one. Consumer application. Where it is? This one. Go for the main class. Okay, this is what the main class of what? Consumer application. Clear? Right click on it, run as Spring Boot application. Can you check that EMP service or employee service? What is that? Okay. Employee service, right? Registered instance what? Guys, registered with whom registered? Producer and consumer registered with whom? Eureka server. In the Eureka server, right? Okay. As you see the profile service, you are going to see the employee service as well. Okay. Registered instance employee service with the port number is what? Employee service 8668. The profile service 9696. Ever one here. Clear? Okay. Now let me go for Eureka server. As of now, the profile service only available. Okay, if you refresh, employee service also came. Guys, employee service also came. Two services are there. That is, two microservices are there. Clear? Any doubt online? Can you confirm? See here, output is not at all mandatory. If you are not getting the output, there is no problem at all. But the way of development, the way of configuration, or the way of implementation is required. Clear? Okay. Two microservices are available, or two instances are available, or two instances are registered with what? Eureka server. Clear? Okay. Now, I want to execute my applications. So far, these are registered only. So far, you registered them with Eureka server. I want to give the request. Okay. Right. I am closing online. Are you okay? Online. Can you confirm here whether you are following or not? Just type the message. Na? Okay. Right. Thank you. So now close all. Okay. That is three. That is one is the Eureka server main class, producer main class, consumer main class, I closed. Okay. Now I want to run the producer application with what? This request. Getting my point? What is the port number for this? 9696. Sir, with which IP address I have to use? Getting my point? Which IP address I have to use? This one. Clear? I am copy. Okay. Now, sir, I want to result or output or response, whatever it is. Okay. Which URL you are going to use for producer? For producer, HTTP colon. Clear? Okay. Next one, what is the port number? You already mentioned that port number, right? What is that port number? Producer, na? Is it producer application? Yes. What is the port number? 9696 slash, sorry, colon 9696 slash. Clear? What are the request type here? That get mapping, see, in the coding level. What is that? Profile REST controller. Profile, right? Slash this is what endpoint URL, right? Profile slash next one,
Data.
profile slash data. Clear? Okay. This is for what? Producer. I hope you got the clarity. HTTP colons double slash where you are collecting this 192.168.0.116 from the Eureka server instance info. Under the instance info, I'm using what? IP address. What is the status? Up. If it is down, then it is going down. Clear? Okay, I'm using. After that, my port number, whatever I configured, server.port equal to 9696, that port number. And what it is, profile slash data. This is what endpoint URL, right? Yes or no? Now you can copy and paste. You can open the browser, another tab, and you can paste it. What is the service here? From profile service. Where you written this message? In the controller from profile service. Are you getting the output? Online? Are you clear so far? Okay. Now, I am going to run my consumer application as well. My consumer application also. Consumer. Same HTTP colon. For consumer also, same IP address. 192.168.0.116. But port number is different. Yes or no? Right. Let me go for my application. Consumer application. Open this application.properties. What is this port number? 866868 slash go for the controller. From the controller itself, we are calling that consumer, no problem. Okay. See, we are calling what? Get profile data. Get profile data. Where it is going? Coming to the profile, right? Okay, don't worry. So from the no need to execute that profile REST consumer. We are calling that profile REST consumer from our REST controller only. from our REST controller only, right? Okay. What is this? You are calling profile REST consumer with that reference. I'm calling that method. It is going to get a profile data method. Clear? Okay. Coming to the employee REST controller. What is that endpoint URL? I have to pass employee/model. Getting my point? Employee/model. All are lowercase. We are performing what? Intra communication. Yes or no? Now, cross check. From what? From employee and from profile. Some space issue here. That is my mistake. Okay. That is some space I have to give. Okay. Anyway, here what? Two services came, right? One is what? From employee service. The other one is what? From profile service. That is, one microservice is going to communicate with what? Other microservice. How we are going to perform? First of all, whatever I given that note, 4 or 5 notes I given. See, I repeat once again, given 2-3 minutes here online. Please hold on. If microservice 1 wants to communicate with microservices 2, then what? Microservice 1 needs microservice 2 URL. Clear up. Right? You got it, that URL, right? Next one. In URL, always that path is fixed at REST controller and a method. Yes or no? Right. Next one. Example, this is what you are using now. Some IP address, some port number, some profile/data. Just I given example, this IP address. But what is that exactly user given IP address? 190.168.0.116. Getting my point? Sir, is it fixed or no. System to system. That is the difference. That is different. Okay. My system, this is what the IP. Your system may be different. Other system might be different. Clear? Okay. Now the third one. Now microservice 1 wants to microservice URI. Microservice 1 wants microservice 2 URI. That is IP address as well as port number. Clear? The next one. In the fourth step, the microservice 1 can get this URI from where? Service instance. Yes or no? That from the service instance, which is exist in where? Eureka server. Yes or no? Where it is registered? In the Eureka server. Yes or no? Right. After that, we have to use the discovery client to go to the Eureka and fetch what? Service instance. Yes or no? How you are getting? With the help of discovery client. Clear? All of you. This is what intra communication between one microservice to another microservice. Online, are you clear, guys? Online, are you clear? Vasta. Time. Okay. We are using discovery client. The problem in the discovery client we can discuss tomorrow. What is the solution for that? We can discuss tomorrow. Okay. Don't worry. For now, we used only for what? With the help of discovery client. Okay. What are the problems in the discovery?